Today is Monday, May 22nd, 2017, and this is the ServiceMonster Show. Today we'll talk about updates, and some more updates, and Facebook has 1.9 billion users. This week in social media, kind of a boring week last week. Megan sent me the list and I was like, meh, looks like we're going to be talking about updates a lot. So yes, Facebook crossed to 1.9 billion users. I mean, there's only 6.3 billion people on the planet, guys. Now, sure, some of those are burner accounts and Chinese farm accounts, but in the last 3 years, Facebook is doing an amazing job cleaning those guys up. So a lot of times you'll get put in Facebook jail until you prove who you are. At least that's the way it works in the States. So pretty cool deal. Lots of people on it, lots of attention, lots of eyeballs, and you can hit more people than television ever could. And they reward you for targeting your group and making it as small as possible. There's a lot of overhead and calculations and virtual machine parallels I could draw there, but we'll just leave it at that. Last week, the Ask ServiceMonster show was on van wraps, and it got a lot of attention. I got a little bit of flack for saying that the price point for the van wrap was $6K. I'm trying to get you guys in the right mental state. The bigger picture there was using your van as a billboard. So yeah, you can go buy the $800 magnet that you can throw on the side and you'll have brand recognition. And there were some comments that blew me away, like taking the phone numbers off of the van so you don't get calls and complaints when you're driving around town. I found that one very interesting as well. But hey, I don't run a service business right now, so I get that you may not want to take all of the advice that I'm throwing out there. I'm just trying to get the conversation started. This week in ServiceMonster. So Friday, we picked up half the company and essentially stuffed them into the cubes and offices of the new space we received about a month ago. So the electrical was finally finished mid last week and we moved everyone in on Friday. I love it personally because I can go do my rounds from QA to creative to development to the mobile team to product management to sales and onboarding, all in a nice little circuit that I can run. So very excited about that. And I think the synergy that it's going to create having the most of the creative team together is pretty positive. So I'm excited by how it turned out. Looks like everybody's fairly happy and we'll get a boost in productivity. Every time you move people around or paint the walls, you get about a month where things get just a little happier for a little while before things get boring again. ServiceMonster product updates. So as we are recording this, the QA team is testing 6.0.120, so build 120 on the 6.0 platform. Man, they cleared out so many things. Let me see if I can pull a handful for you. We've added a correction line item on the work orders, so now if you need to round up or round down in addition to the rounding that ServiceMonster is providing as it stands, you can add that in. This is really great when technicians don't necessarily calculate correctly out in the field because you're still using paper. We also added a notes section to the order within the quick add. So now not only can you add the line items in the quick add, but you can also type out a nifty little note. That was a big request from a handful of people. So there you go. New recurrences now have an end date. Previously, you would just set the recurrence pattern and it would assume that it would run forever until you shut it off. Now you can actually put an end date in there so that they'll stop generating reminders suddenly. We added a campaign results marketing tab to the drip campaign, which I can't wait to see. I actually haven't seen it yet. And we've implemented OLARC chat. Now you'll see in the lower right-hand corner an option to just click a little button, bring up a little chat screen, and ask support a question directly. So I would encourage you to use that. I mean, obviously, we love talking to you guys, so you can call us, 888-901-3300. But the chat feature is really great when you just have a really simple question you need answered. We have agents monitoring the chat channel. Their response time's pretty good, but it might not be instantaneous right away, so just be a little patient on that. And we fixed an additional 20 bugs that were reported, or friction points, whatever they may be, so go check it out. The build is really clean. ServiceMonster 6, we're getting to that 6.1 build I've been talking about, and with that we're going to introduce 3 new features. the SendJim Radius Bomb. So these are automated 5-rounds for direct mail. Incredible product by Josh Latimer. So I would encourage you to check that out. We'll put some links in the show notes. He's also going to be doing a webinar on the ServiceMonster and SendJim integration fairly soon, so keep your eye out for that. Another feature I'm super excited about is contracts. The ability to manage that Stay Beautiful program that Strategies for Success teaches, that Ed York was teaching back in the 70s. Boomers were really ready for it, paying a monthly fee for a service that happened once or twice a year. But man, I think the younger generation now is with the Ubers and the Lyfts and all the stuff that's Airbnbs, right? That paying that $30 a month over a year, bringing in $360 worth of revenue for a one-time a year deep cleaning, perhaps a couple touch-ups or phone calls throughout the year, that's going to be huge. I want to turn you guys to service as a service companies that relies on a model just like I do, where we get income every month from our subscribers. And that will really help to level things out for you, especially during the slow seasons. And we'll be giving the homepage a big lift, kind of famous for the reports and dashboards that we did in ServiceMonster 5. And while they are in there and much improved in 6, the home screen was neglected a little bit. I kind of did that on purpose. I wanted to give you a whiz bang for 6.1, plus the resources were just dedicated to other things. So look for that. As soon as you log in, boom, new home screen available to you. Mobile 3 went live Friday, so that includes a handful of bug fixes, and we haven't heard anything through the weekend, so it looks like a pretty clean build. I'm encouraged by where we're at. Right now, we'll turn into a more reactionary point of view on Mobile 3, where we'll be feeding back based off the bugs and phone calls that you make. From everyone here at ServiceMonster, thank you so much for your attention. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, go check out the demo, and give us a call.